Oh, we can't trust America. Brother, we can't trust you. You are a self-proclaimed propagandist.
As far as me being a propagandist goes, everyone is a propagandist.
Why would anybody trust you for not trusting them? If anything, this would be the logic. Whatever you say is not to be trusted is to be trusted because you are not to be trusted. So whatever the person that is not to be trusted says not to be trusted is to be trusted. It actually goes full fucking circle now that you've inserted your opinion. Hasan just got freaking humiliated. New updates? Let's see.
Welcome back to your daily dose of morons. In today's video, Hasan is going after Asmongold again, calling him an Israel lover, telling him to leave America. Asmongold has responded,
telling him to leave America. What is he saying? Like, if you love Israel so much, why don't you go marry it? If you love Israel so much, go live in Israel. But it's so funny, like the irony, telling him to leave America because he loves another country. Why don't you go tell that to the people that you were protesting? Heavy air quotes, more like rioting alongside at the anti-ICE protests. Why don't you go tell those people if they love Mexico so much to go live in Mexico? I'm confused. If they're waving the flag of Mexico while they're in California, then why don't they just go live there? You know? You understand how it's a little strange how you would say that? I'm assuming that's what he's saying. Okay, I don't know. I don't have the quote yet, but strange.
Calling him a massive hypocrite. Hasan is now mad at mainstream media, who's usually on his side, because they're finally reporting things that he doesn't like. Ethan Klein is calling out Hasan again. iDubbbz is now fantasizing about taking part in the violent part of the LA protests.
Oh, cool.
Already subscribe or Hasan Piker becomes president. I'm not playing with these threats, guys. Press the button. Okay, let's begin with this tweet. This is in reference to the LA protests. Hasan calls Asmongold an Israel lover and tells him to get the F out of his country.
Oh, nice.
If you don't like it, you can leave, okay? Why don't you get the f out of my country, Asmongold? If you don't like the fucking First Amendment, get the fuck out. Go to a country that doesn't have free speech protections.
Ooh, dropping some of the right-wing classics on him, hey? He's like, what if I use the talking point that you use to people who are in this country illegally, telling people who are committing a crime to get out? So why don't I tell you who isn't committing a crime to get out? That'll surely win over viewers. What a great tactic, Hasan. That's why you're the GOAT. That's why I watch all your streams, bro. And when my Prime comes back, I am definitely gonna give it to you.
Maybe you'll enjoy it more. There, you can actually also still do regime propaganda. And
brother, you cannot ever call someone a propagandist negatively when you actively take that as a badge of honor. He calls himself a propagandist like every day and flex that he's a propagandist on Piers Morgan. You're doing propaganda that I don't like, so it's bad. When I do propaganda, it's the good kind. When you do it, it's the bad kind. How about propaganda and being a propagandist and radicalizing people is just bad in general, no matter who does it? I don't even know if Asmongold does it. I doubt he does. I'm not gonna trust a word this guy says, but I will trust what you say when it's about you, because when someone tells you who you are, believe them.
Be totally justified in being like, yeah, arrest these guys. Yeah, go live in fucking Turkey, bitch. I don't get it.
What? What? Go live in Turkey? Why would he want to do that?
Why don't you go
That's
to
your homeland.
Country? Why don't you go to a country where there's no First Amendment? Go to Tel Aviv, dude. They don't got free speech there.
I told you.
Go to
Told you. Israel.
Told
you.
You seem to love Israel.
Called it.
Why don't you go live
Called
there?
it. I fucking knew it. Literally not pre-watched. I knew it.
Yeah.
Okay, the clip keeps going, but I gotta quickly point out the bullshit. My country, really. Hasan saying my country. Is it?
Yeah, hey, brother, as he's wearing the flag of another country here. There's a flag of another country here. I'm sure if we look in the background, there's the communist logo, which was also on a flag. All sorts of other shit. He doesn't like America. He actually thinks America deserves terrorist attacks and supports terrorist groups that hate America and likes those groups more than America itself. He enjoys America because he's allowed to live his capitalist lifestyle here to the fullest extent while being around all of his other rich leftist friends and being cozy with his one-piece rug, his, Uber Eats, DoorDash, whatever, and his cozy $3 million house in the hills.
Is this the same guy?
And that's what he loves. He loves materialism and he loves the conditions that he can live in here. He doesn't love America. He cannot call it his country. He has no dominion over this country at all. It's disgusting.
He's done anti-American propaganda for how many years now?
Yeah, literally.
The same guy who says America deserved 9/11.
People are gonna say I pre-watched this. I have not. I swear to God, I have not. I'm just the GOAT.
The same guy who literally supports Hamas, the Houthis,
The best to ever do it.
Hezbollah, all these people who chant death to America. The same guy who hates America so much that whenever there's any conflict ever, he will always take the side that is against America.
He literally said that there was a report of like Iran doing some bad shit, but he didn't trust the report because it was coming from America. Like, it was like, oh, we can't trust America. Brother, we can't trust you. You are a self-proclaimed propagandist. Why would anybody trust you for not trusting them? If anything, this would be the logic. Whatever you say is not to be trusted is to be trusted because you are not to be trusted. So whatever the person that is not to be trusted says not to be trusted is to be trusted. It actually goes full fucking circle now that you've inserted your opinion. Now, obviously, there are some problems with the US's narratives, and we obviously construct things that are a little propaganda-y sometimes as a country. There's 100% been sketchy stuff in the history of the US with the government, MK Ultra, you know, just Tuskegee trials. There's a lot of blood on the US hands, and 100%. I will say, brother, you know, if you're going to say to Asmongold, if you don't like it, then leave, then every single time you say something like, hey, we can't trust America, maybe if you don't trust this country, you should go somewhere that you trust.
Apparently hates the system so much that made him like a capitalist millionaire. Also, this guy talking about free speech and the First Amendment is hilarious. Free speech doesn't allow you to break the law, you absolute idiot. You can absolutely peacefully protest.
Yeah, but this isn't even like... The problem by saying peacefully protest is like, even this right here, maybe this is peaceful, I can't see the full image, but if you want to consider this peaceful just because they're standing holding signs, maybe, but they're still illegal because they're blocking a highway, so it's like, it's peacefully crime, so I don't know, it's like a gray area. By the way, those shoes that he's wearing cost hundreds of dollars, if not thousands. Which one?
Allow you to break. Talking about free, absolutely not. Like cars
what does he have, like Rick Owens?
On fire. It doesn't matter if you have insurance, Hasan. You can't actually destroy cars, rob stores, try to kill cops, literally try to murder people by throwing bricks at them. This is the problem with Hasan. He just never knows when to draw the line. He can never stop supporting violence and terrorism, and he has the audacity to talk about propaganda. Asman has literally never said he loves Israel. He has always maintained that his first priority is to Americans.
Did you vote for... No, I didn't vote for Kamala Harris either. I just simply chose not to vote. I didn't feel like either candidate deserved to vote. I thought neither of them were very good. Like, and I think I speak for basically... I mean, how many of you guys want to die for Israel? How many of you guys want to go to war for Israel? Like, I certainly fucking don't. Like, I don't want to do that.
Right.
Like, Israel's problems are Israel's problems. Like, I don't want to, you know, take that
100%.
on. No. You're not going to war for fuck's sake? Okay, well, I don't want to fund 2 proxy wars.
Oh, yeah.
We're already funding 1 proxy war with Ukraine.
True. Billions. Fucking billions of dollars. Like, why do we need to spawn more money to give to other countries? Other countries. Not ours. Others.
Funding 2 of them is ridiculous.
Thank you. It's
wow,
true.
I've been saying
That's
Israel
just simple.
Problems are Israel problems. Definitely seems like an Israel lover, guys. Dude, Hasan is a pathological liar. It shouldn't be possible to humiliate someone this bad with...
Well, in order to be a propagandist, you have to be a part of the job description is to lie pathologically. Yes, of course. Because in order to tell the full truth, there will become a point in your political narrative where there is something wrong and something not true. And part of the lying is not admitting when you're wrong, not admitting the faults, right? This is the job.
Straight. It's just diabolical the amount of info this guy just completely gets wrong. Now, after this, one of Hasan's chatters points out that Asman doesn't support Israel, and Hasan's brain...
I would love to hear what he has to say here. That ain't what he drank the Asman Kool-Aid, that he's not a true fan or some shit. I'd love to see what he has to say here. Ooh. Let's get our bingo cards out. What does he say? Does he rage at the chatter? Does he accuse him of being an Asmongold fan? Does he say something along the lines of either Asmongold or the chatter supporting Israel just for saying that? Let's see it.
And just implodes.
Him moving to a different country would be biological warfare and violate international law? Okay, well, even more. You're just telling me exactly why now he should move. Asman doesn't support Israel, lol. This is why Asman refuses to debate you when you lie about him. Wait, what? The easiest way to fucking... First of all, Asman doesn't support Israel, lol, is hilarious. He doesn't support Israel. He just seems to criticize all of Israel's enemies.
Yes, this is the first implication of the thing that I said, which is accusing either Asmongold or this guy of supporting Israel.
All the time, non-stop. Yeah, I know. He doesn't fully support Israel. He just supports everyone else that supports Israel.
Imply it.
And he attacks everyone that
So admit that he doesn't fully support it, but then go on to say things that juxtapose what you just said. So say that he doesn't support Israel, but then give all the ammunition and the fodder to your audience to make the conclusion that he actually does support Israel. So say the thing that you know is true, but then contradict it with bullshit lies in order to paint a narrative that you already have been wanting to construct with your audience to give them a bigger reason to hate him, other than the fact that he dislikes you and your radical ideology, right? So it can't just be that we don't like him because he's an op. It has to be we don't like him because he supports this country, which has largely contributed to, global conflict.
Doesn't support Israel. He supports the administration and its support for Israel.
Yeah, right.
He supports the administration completely.
Okay.
He supports all the content creators that support Israel.
Right.
He supports none of the content
Is he talking about
creators
Nux?
that don't support Israel.
That's definitely not true.
Basically, you better support Hasan in everything he says, otherwise you're an Israel lover. Apparently, criticizing Hamas terrorists, who happen to be the enemies of Israel, is now explicitly supporting Israel. It's like, you can just say terrorists are bad in general,
Allergic
it's like
to
Hasan
nuance.
expects every situation to be completely black and white. I mean,
Yes,
you can never
literally,
take this guy
allergic to
seriously
nuance.
because he thinks Ethan Klein is pro-Israel. You can't even make this shit up. How many clips of Ethan have we seen of him completely disavowing Israel's actions? Like, how much more do you actually need? Oh, that's right. You obviously just need to support the terrorists. That's the only way to be on Hasan's side here. Anyways, Asmongold responded.
All or nothing.
I'm an Israel lover. Okay. I mean, you could say, I guess, no, you can't say Jew lover, right? You can't do that. Because there were other people that did that before and it didn't go very well for them. Okay, here we go. Let's listen to it.
If you don't like it, you can leave, okay?
Reacting to reacting to reacting, probably to more reacting. We've done it, boys. We've reached peak Matrix.
Get the f*** out of my country, Asmongold.
Hasan, famously known for his unquenching support of American values.
Francis was a socialist. This motherfucker
Yes, of course. He's really as American as apple pie.
is an American. And I think Americans are gross. Why don't you get the f***
Oh! Get the fuck out of my country.
out of my country, Asmongold?
What
If you
is
don't
this?
like the f***ing First Amendment, get the f*** out.
Is
You don't like the First Amendment. He literally hates the First Amendment.
he talking about his First Amendment right to stand in the middle of the highway? Okay. Yeah, right. Got it.
Go to
I
a country
mean-
that doesn't have free speech protections.
Okay.
Yeah, go live in f***ing Turkey, bitch. I don't get it. Why don't you go to a country? Why don't you go to a country where there's no First Amendment?
Why would I want to go to a country with no First Amendment? Also, Hasan doesn't like the First Amendment either. I mean, he's regularly advocated for
Hasan slams fake pushed on Aiden Ross from Twitch. Oh, interesting.
banning people. He was crying about
Yeah, that was when Aiden Ross was going over the genders thing. He said there was 2 genders and that's it. Puto. Maybe not the direct quote, but it was something along those lines.
Aiden Ross getting unbanned recently. Don't ever believe Hasan cares about the First Amendment. He cares about weaponizing other people's care for the First Amendment against them in order to push his own goals, like
That's
standing
true.
in the highway, which is clearly what I'm discussing here because this is the clip.
I mean, yeah,
Right.
Hasan does not give a single shit about free speech. If it was up to Hasan, none of us would even have a platform. Make no mistake, if it was up to Hasan, there would be tyranny to the max. This guy is an unashamed open terror supporter. As long as it's on his side of politics, he does
Right.
not give a single shit. And he might be aligned with you on certain other political issues, but that doesn't mean that you should ever take anything he says seriously. He basically takes every opportunity to take the minor political points and then eventually brainwash you into his cult so that you're
Yes.
also supporting terrorists.
Yes.
Also, can we just admit it? Anytime Hasan says Israel or Israel lover, he means Jew. Now, obviously, he's not going to come out and say that because it's bad optics to just say Jew, right? Because that makes you look pretty anti-Semitic, right? And that's a very hard pill to swallow from the crowd that's always chanting, you're a Nazi, but also everything they...
I don't know about Hasan. I don't actually know if, like, because maybe he's friends with some Jews. I don't know if his full, like, thoughts on the Jewish people. I don't really, I was joking earlier about him being my favorite streamer. He's obviously not. I don't watch him, like, at all. But it is interesting. Like, I do see there is a lot of conflation between, like, Jewish people and the state of Israel. Like, I think you can be anti-Zionist and also not anti-Semitic. Like, you can be, like, against certain things that Israel is doing without having contempt for the Jewish people. 100% that there is a delineation there, distinction there. Hasan, in this case, I don't know. Loki, with all the support of, because all the terrorist groups that he supports, like, it's not just that they hate Americans. Like, they really, like, they specifically hate Jews, so and they do want to kill them. So I would assume, yeah, he probably does hate Jews, and he probably is using Israel as like a sponge or like a stand-in or like a ploy because he can't say Jews like, you know, out loud. But I do think that there are people who do have legit criticisms of Israel that are not anti-Semitic, 100%. I don't think he's one of them though. He's probably not one of them.
The crowd that's always chanting, "You're a Nazi," but also everything they say is conveniently against Jews. I mean, we've gone over several statements Hasan has made that can be interpreted as him being anti-Semitic. I've played like the 5 different statements in plenty of my previous videos. You can check it out. Also, the thing about the highway, right? I know
because I don't even think like Nick Fuentes, who's one of the most out of like the people who stream, like he's like the most anti-Semitic. Him and Hasan are like they're like anti-Semitic on like whatever the same level or something. But Nick Fuentes doesn't even support these terrorist groups, so I guess like he has to be anti-Semitic, right?
Statements in plenty of my previous videos. You can check it out. Also, the thing about the highway, right? I know people are rightfully concerned about the abuse of power by authorities, right? And that may be a reason that people want.
Oh man, don't even get me started on Nick. I mean, here's the thing with Nick Fuentes. Like, I won't lie to you and act all sanitized and say that I haven't seen clips of him that I don't like. Like, I think he has some funny ass clips. And look, I mean, just for saying some things that I agree with, I'm not going to sit here and say that I like, you know, I've never found him funny or I've never agreed with anything he said. Like, I absolutely have. I do think that he 100% does not like Jewish people overall, like as a people. And so that is just something where I just can't support that level of like contempt for a group unilaterally. That's just something where I think if on a person-by-person individual basis, you cannot remove someone from the group in which they belong, especially if that group is an ethnic group, then it's like, I feel like you're being unfair. And so, yeah, 100%. Like, that's what I think, right? And any group can be criticized. I just do think that if you cannot pick out the individuals from a group and view them as individuals and not just members of that group, then you're kind of like, I don't know. I feel like that's just lacking a level of nuance.
To peacefully protest, which is perfectly fine and justified. But I will still say, if you are blocking the highway, preventing regular innocent civilians who have nothing to do with this from getting to work, then you are going to be seen as a troublemaker, a lawbreaker, and a general nuisance. You can hate ICE or the police all you want, but don't take it out on a man trying to go to work to feed his family. A lot of these people are living paycheck to
But yeah, it's crazy too, like not to stay on that topic for too long, but it is pretty wild how the Hasan like anti-Semitism is like straight up violence. Is like, hey, I'm going to support the terrorist groups who legitimately like they expressly in part of what their groups accomplish or what their group's goals are, talk about the erasure of like not only the Jewish state but Jewish people. And it's like Nick, he's just saying things like, I don't think that, you know, I wonder how much I can say that, like, I don't know if even quoting him will get me in trouble, but it's like, you know, Nick is like, he's more of the type that thinks like, you know, they're in the government and the media and stuff, right? And it's like, I don't want them there. Hasan's like, I don't want them ever, which is crazy.
Man trying to go to work to feed his family. A lot of these people are living paycheck to paycheck, all right? And if they miss a day of work and they get fired because of it, congratulations, you just made a lifelong enemy. And that's pretty much where you are no different.
Anyway, on topic, yeah, all these fucking protesters are just so cringe.
And Just Stop Oil, and people will get increasingly frustrated of you blocking their path because they have nothing to do with this, and they will either get out of their car to beat you up, or they will try to run you over.
Go to Israel. You seem to love Israel. Why don't you go live there?
I didn't know that. Do I? That's crazy. All right.
Yeah. Him moving to a different country would be biological warfare and violate international law? Okay, well,
that's funny.
Even more.
Okay. Even more what? Are you saying it's good that there would be biological warfare for me to go to Israel? Like, is that what you were implying? You know, it just seems kind of a weird way to say that.
You're just telling me exactly why now he should move.
Wait, what? So is he saying that because Asmongold's like a bioweapon that he should be used against Israel? Okay, that's funny. It's the first time I've laughed at Hasan. But it's his chatters carrying, so it's not even him.
Birthday to you. Happy birthday.
That's the Hasan. Hasan.
This is crazy.
Dan Clancy.
Happy birthday to you.
That's really something, huh?
Dude, the Gooning King Dan Clancy singing Happy Birthday will never get old. But also, what did Hasan exactly mean by that when he said, I hope Asmon goes to Israel as it would be biological warfare? Now, obviously, I get that that's a joke, right? Because Asmon's the cockroach king. He's a little bit disgusting sometimes. So yeah, biological warfare.
He's literally saying that Asmongold is so disgusting and he's like a bioweapon that he should be used as a weapon against the state of Israel. It's smart.
Funny joke. He did leak his true feelings for a second there. That was a Freudian slip there, because he says he wants to do biological warfare against Israelis, which is very interesting, right? I wonder how people would react if you said that about Palestinians or any other group, that you want to do biological warfare against them. I don't know, maybe I'm reading too much into it. Here's what people are saying: I'd much rather live in a country filled with Asmongolds than Hassans.
True.
A guy who hates America telling a guy who loves his country to leave.
True.
Okay, somebody just said it. Hassan is a Nazi. Somebody added Dan Clancy, get your animal under control. Turkish guy tells American from Texas to get out of America.
Literally, he's from Texas. How do you tell a Texan to leave? Like, bro, leave the country. You're like, I'm not gonna say it, but I mean, guys.
Telling a U.S. citizen to get out of the country, but supporting non-citizens who are refusing to get out is crazy work.
It is crazy
live in
work.
Turkey. A man whose father is a Turkish politician and he was a Turkish citizen and a billionaire. Billionaire. Don't forget that. This guy's no morals or empathy. He's 100% about his ideology.
True.
He's a trust fund activist. He'd call the cops 100 times a minute if those protests came near his neighborhood. Lol. Oh.
Yeah, that's the funny thing too, is like they want to like borders for other countries, but not America. Reduce the police presence, but not in my gated community.
100%. That's what I'm saying. Like, if somebody lit his car on fire, he's definitely calling.
Yeah, burn cars on fire for the protests, just not my Porsche 911. Is it? Wait, does he? Hold on a second. I just realized how funny that would be. Is his car actually a Porsche 911? A literal car called a 911? Hasan Piker car. I know his car. It's a Taycan. Taycan? How do you say that? Porsche Taycan? Taycan. Would have been funnier.
The cops, and then he'll be like, oh, cops are bad, oh my god, we should light everybody's car on fire. Like, please, dude, you rely on their safety. Why doesn't Hasan live in Gaza then? The reason Hasan was so pissed at Asmongold was because Asmon actually called him a
yeah, like, if you love another country so much, then go live there. Okay, well, Hasan, why don't you go to Palestine if you love it so much? Like, I don't understand. Like, this is just using his own logic.
Fake revolutionary.
Anta's fake revolutionary, not putting his strength. Well, if anything, Hasan is a fake revolutionary because he doesn't embody any of the ideals that he has, right? I mean, disliking capitalism, you're pro-Palestine, you're trying to adhere to this fucking list of companies that you're not supposed to support. But the one that you make the most money from, you're like Twitter, by the way, also owned by Elon Musk, who people are saying is a Nazi. Like, really, like, that's not the main thing. What is this? Which he did go down there. No problem LARPing as a revolutionary.
Yes, exactly. Yes, no, you're right. What a great own. He actually did go down and commit a crime. I expected him not to do that because it would be stupid and detrimental and bad, and you would put your channel at risk. But Hasan knows you won't get in trouble. And streaming it. Yes, self-reporting the entire time.
This is going to be very different, which, to be fair, he was. Well, if he was actually doing that, he should get in trouble. Like, I mean, for sure. He was, though? Yeah, I don't know.
No, he should be arrested again. Just sits on bootlicking and Trump administration. Bootlicking is whenever you think that somebody should get arrested for standing in the highway. I didn't know that. A lot of people didn't know that. But, you know, we had a whole election that was decided that found out that most people actually didn't know that. But that's where we're at. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, it's probably not going to happen. Nothing's going to happen.
Right, so the reason Hasan got all pissy is because Asmon literally said the truth and called Hasan a hypocrite for not standing by the boycott list for Palestine and not boycotting Amazon. And he also said that he probably won't get banned on Twitch for, again, streaming something against TOS. So I don't see the issue here. Hasan is literally just getting mad at...
And mind you, this person calls Asmongold a bootlicker when it would be, like, his first reaction would be to grab the phone and dial 911 if someone was knocking at his door at, you know, the wee hours, the late night hours. Like, everyone's a bootlicker when their lives in danger. Does that make sense to you? If someone charged at you screaming like, I hate you, Hasan, I want to kill you, like someone else who, his name is not, is it Samuel Hyde? Is that his name? I don't know. If that person hypothetically charged at you, you would call the police. And you would, because you had a reasonable suspicion of threat, and you would use the resource that you get by paying the government tax dollars, which is the police force, and access to it, to save your life. That makes sense. I don't think it's bootlicking at all. I also don't think it's bootlicking to use the police force, which are to protect and serve, that's their slogan, in order to protect people and serve them in terms of allowing them access to another thing that they pay taxes for, which is the highway. I don't think that's crazy at all.
Objective facts. Who would have thought? Also, let's be honest, Hasan was never gonna get in trouble. Hasan could literally go out on the streets and murder 5 people, and Dan would suck him off the next day.
That's true.
Now, last video, I did expose Dan Clancy for his Hasan rag. That is absolutely diabolical, the amount of times it's been violated, so to speak. But yeah, I really wonder how long Dan can keep this up and safeguard his golden boy here, because surely at some point Amazon clamps down on this, right? They just can't have this PR on their website. Now in this next clip, Hasan gets really angry that the mainstream media is pointing out that even small businesses run by immigrants are getting robbed, not just big Apple stores or whatever, which by the way,
Well, yeah, I mean, also, it doesn't matter if the store that's being looted is a small business or a large business, because the net property damage is one that disrupts the entire, like, day-to-day life of people living in that area. I mean, obviously, I would say it's overall worse for it to be a small business, 100%, but not that it's, like, that much better if it's an Apple store, you know? It's like night and day. It's very bad.
Hey, is still not okay, right? Like, yeah. Hasan's chat always...
And did you guys see that the iPhones that were being stolen, they were going off with this thing that said, please return to the nearest authority? Like, all the iPhones that got stolen, like, no one's doing that.
It justifies this, like, Apple is too rich, so it's okay to just rob and loot stores and break things and steal phones and TVs. How the heck is that related to immigration or ICE at all? These are just random looters profiting.
Bro, like, you think this guy cares at all? He's like, I looked at the clauses under the new Trump policy, and I have some qualms with what he's trying to pass legislatively. I use my democratic voice to make a difference in this world. Now, these guys are all fucking thugs. They have no understanding of, like how the country they live in works.
Putting off the chaos, using this...
They're like, oh shit, free shit!
...opportunity to make a quick buck. And Hasan will justify this, saying that they're just redistributing the goods to the poor people.
Oh, nice,
like
yes.
Robin Hood.
You only see the looting of Target. You don't see the redistribution of the goods that they took from Target back to the community.
Meanwhile, they'll sell it for like double the price.
Good.
Well, that's capitalism.
Vicious looting.
Most of them looted, the glass
Fuck the local news, man. I hate local news, yo.
shattered, a lot of things stolen, and they're big companies.
He hates local news? Wait, why? I don't get that.
They'll take a hit, but it is the small, the mom and pop businesses that have also been looted.
What is his chat saying? Because they tend to agree with him. So what is his chat saying for why local businesses are bad? The poor corporations, not the local Apple store. Well, this is obviously, this is a small business owner, so this is not an Apple store person. Just got here, chat, forgive me if I've asked 1,000 times, but is Hasan IRL streaming the protest today? Nice! Oh my god, guys asking the real questions. He's waiting for the real content. All my homies hate local news, not the Apple iPhone cases. Fox News Classic only care about the big companies. Oh no, not necessarily, not the billionaires. So they're basically, they're saying, oh no, not the corporations, but like these aren't corporations at all. So they're missing the point.
And you have tears in your eyes of what they've done to your business.
What
are they saying? Bourgeois, the iPhones. These aren't
to my business. I don't know. I have to go inside see what's going on. I don't know what they.
What is this? Not the pretty bourgeois. My mom and pop shop, small bean apple, mom and pop. Think of capital, heartbreaking. Dude, that's crazy. Wait a second. So if they're ironically saying that they don't care because he's like a business owner and he's like bourgeois, even though he's probably 99% less wealthy than Hasan, then logically they would have to multiply their lack of sympathy 99 times when Hasan gets fucking robbed. So if Hasan got robbed, since he has 99 times the wealth of this person, they would have to care 99 times less. When and if Hasan were to ever get robbed, I 100% disavow that. I do not want him to get robbed. Violence is never the answer. Stealing is never the answer. I just want to think that, you know, I'll destroy him in the marketplace of ideas. That's what I support. But this logic is completely stupid when you realize that if you're in a more powerful position than this person, then you deserve less sympathy. Do these fucking, like, numbskulls not understand that? And also, this person contributes 1,000,000,000% more to society than this person, Hasan. And him and I contribute the same amount to society. Well, actually, never mind. He contributes negative value to society because he's a propagandist and a terrorist supporter. So I'm neutral. He's negative. This person is positive. And yet he's getting the most support. The negative force. Evil always wins, I guess.
They go to somewhere out of the city limits, and they scream at what they want to do. Why they come here?
We also have video of other stores that were looted overnight. There were reports, Sheila, of up to 100 looters at a time at a jewelry business.
Crazy.
He's laughing.
Very
Did he just laugh?
At a time at a jewelry business.
Did he laugh or am I tripping? I can't tell.
Crazy. Very crazy, very sad, very terrible.
Did that get edited in?
Your dad works really hard. I'm sure you work really hard too.
You know what? Let's just quickly look at Hasan's chat here. Womp womp. We got the crying emoji. Poor Apple. Not Apple, not Adidas. Not the Apple phone cases. Fox News Classic only care about the big companies. Oh no, not the sneakers, not the billionaires. Rob Apple. All my homies hate local news. We got SpongeBob and they say small business. Nah, don't be using that SpongeBob, dog. Nah, this is a desecration. Crying moms, crying the iPhones. The mom and pop Apple stores. Somebody loot their camera and microphone quick. Bro, who is watching you? What the heck is this, dude? Omega lol, so what? So let me get this straight. We got a very clear immigrant who is crying about his store getting looted. And then we got Hasan in his chat being like, I don't care about the Apple store. This isn't the Apple store, dude. I feel like Hasan in his chat does not care about these immigration issues. They just want to advance their own radical politics.
Right.
And they like to blend in like little chameleons.
No, I think they do care about the immigration stuff. I definitely think that they care about not having borders. I think that's real.
Oh no, we're just supporting the peaceful protest. We're totally on your side. Like, no, they don't care about any reasonable cause at all. It is precisely because of people like Hasan that no protest is actually taken seriously for any valid reason.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Let's move on to Ethan going after Hasan.
Let's see
Here we
it.
got another puff piece article paid for by Hasan's journalist buddies. Hasan Piker sees it all. If he sees it all, how does he so consistently have the wrong opinion on everything? The guy who screamed the Russian invasion of Ukraine wasn't gonna happen definitely has amazing insights. And then Ethan calls it out. Lol, this is getting pathetic. People don't like you, bro. You can't buy your way out of that. He sees it all and then chooses terrorism anyway. Then Ethan goes after Hasan's agency, Night Media. I do not and have never worked with Night Media. The CEO is a nice guy, but F any media entity willing to work with scum like Hasan. I've never had a manager of any kind. I've always
Night
preferred
Media?
to do things on my own for better or worse. Then Ethan makes a post about the LA protests and he calls out tankies. I assume he's talking about Hasan here, or at least Hasan supporters. Mad respect to the amazing protesters. These tanky scumbags showed up to sabotage these good people's protests. F the tankies. I stand with these protesters in loving America. There's a correct take. Protest good, riots bad. Burning down Waymos because they love America so damn much. We also got this picture of Hasan in a press vest as if he's somehow like news. Genuine.
Yeah, you are not.
Service dogs versus fake service dogs. And then Nux responds, I wonder where you picked that trick.
Yo.
Service dogs versus fake service dogs. And then Nux responds, I wonder where you picked that trick up. And this is like the terrorists who are wearing the press vest as well, launching missiles in the background. There's like a video about this. Anyways, let's move on to iDubbbz fantasizing about throwing tear gas on the cops. iDubbbz imagines himself at the LA riots, catching tear gas and launching it back at cops. And then everyone.
To be fair, this is like a universal male experience, like thinking about like saving your school from a school shooting or something. I don't know if this is the same, but like maybe if you're like 33 and just gained empathy, then yes, it is.
One would clap.
Or one of my friends got tear gassed a couple days ago. So, yep.
Dude, I kind of wish I was there.
Yeah.
Because I think it would be really fucking sweet to throw the tear gas back at them.
You put the cone on it and then pour the water in.
True.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Oh, that's a good tactic. Yeah, I do like that.
Oh, look, Reek from Game of Thrones is talking. iDubbbz, you look like you're too afraid to tell the waiter they got your order wrong. Bro looks completely broken and homeless and cucked. How about you deal with the devil right next to you? Because we all know you wouldn't do shit. And don't be fooled into thinking iDubbbz is only supporting the peaceful parts of the protest. If you're fantasizing about chucking tear gas at the cops, you're probably supporting the violent side too. And I mean, let's all remember, this guy loves and supports Hasan in everything he does. He was the catalyst to this entire series. He made the content cop with Hasan in it. He's the one who started all of this. So I'm not going to give any courtesy when his friends are terrorist sympathizers, and he probably is too. Now, there's also this clip of a bunch of people stopping someone from going to work, and I feel like this is where you lose most people. Like, if your problem is with the police, then take it up with the police. Why are you
Well, I mean, what does that even mean? Take it up with the police. Like, how do you take it up with the police, right? Like, I don't really know about that. Like, fight them or something? I don't know.
Civilians.
But I have a kid. If I know that these people are having their children taken and their parents, what about my kids?
So this is, again, one of the main things that these people love to do is they're standing in the road. They're preventing this woman from going to work, and they're explaining to her why it's actually a good thing that they're preventing her to go to work.
So this woman who wants to just do right by her children and be a productive member of society is getting accosted by a woke white woman. Triple W, no World Wide Web, woke white woman, about why it's actually good that she's being stopped. That's based.
How is this a peaceful protest if there's nothing peaceful? No, it's not. How do y'all as white people feel about stopping
Look at this fucking
a
shit.
black woman from going to work?
Oh no, not work.
Not work. Yeah, I know. It's crazy. Some people do have to go to work. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, wholly unemployed.
Wow. Imagine that.
Not work.
That is actually so unemployed.
So you don't care about stopping black people from going to work? Look at this line that you guys are causing. I'm not causing no problem. I'm not trying to. We're just trying to leave.
It's actually so funny because, like, you could not have made a more stereotypical video than this. Why do Americans always mention some kind of skin color or ethnicity to try to make a point? Because the people that are doing this, it's like they're kryptonite. What an annoying, obnoxious person.
That guy's definitely unemployed. Holy shit. I mean, this is just becoming a repeat of Just Stop Oil now. Like, obviously, people care about the environment and they care about these issues, but they're not going to care about your dumb ass when you stop them from going to work or impeding on their day, right? They have a job to get to feed their family with money. Who would have thought? Now, I wanted to quickly go over a few clips from Decoy Voice, where basically people are so emotionally charged, they end up attacking the wrong thing. Basically, Reddit was so brain dead, they
ICE is in town, protect your people. Let's see
thought
this.
ICE was at a certain hotel, so they gave it a bunch of bad reviews. Turns out they weren't even there. It was just a hoax, and they basically just destroyed an innocent business for absolutely no reason.
So places like Horse.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah, these people are sick in the head. Wait, what's this, Joe Goldberg?
What was even the plan? Like, go to them when they sleep and do what? Like, I hope they didn't want to kill them or anything, because that's just way too far. I mean, to be fair, this guy was...
I don't even know, but yeah. Yeah, that's the new Hasan update. Pretty crazy. I don't know what's going on. That beef is crazy. Dude, it's just wild. Anyway, like the video if you liked, and I'll see you guys all later. Oh, I also subscribe. Goodbye.